So winter is finally over, and I think a great way to celebrate that is with spring flowering plants. Tulips, hyacinth, daffodils are in season now, and it's wonderful to bring them indoors. They look fine cut, but they last much longer planted, and it's much more economical too. So today we're going to plant and display some spring bulbs. They usually come in these little plastic pots for just a few dollars each. And I find that a great way to present them indoors is to bunch them together into containers. So if you have a container like this one that fits the little plastic pots, you can just put them directly in like that. See, they don't stick up over the edge. And that looks great, but we need to conceal what we've done here with something. And I like to use this preserved moss. It's real moss that's been dried. You can find it at garden centers or online. It's very inexpensive, just a few dollars for a lot of moss. And you can just spread this over the top to cover up the pots and the gaps between them. And it also really sets off the flowers and the greenery really nicely. Makes it look more finished, more natural. And you can water the plants right through the moss. I think that looks very nice as a centerpiece for a table or maybe on someone's desk. If you don't have a container like this, a large white souffle dish looks really great with daffodils or even like crocuses coming out of it. But the pots don't always fit in your container, and so sometimes you have to transplant. So I'm going to transplant these tulips into this grower's pot. This is just a garden center terracotta pot you can get almost anywhere. And you need a saucer for it. You can get a terracotta saucer, but I like these glass ones because they're smoother on the bottom, so you don't have to be so worried about what it sits on. Like all transplanting, when you're working with the plants, make sure that they're moist when you start, so the dirt stays together and it puts less stress on the plant. These aren't going to live in this pot for very long. They'll last a week or so. That's about it. Go. Push the dirt around a bit. Again, we'll finish this with our moss. Keep bulbs moist though. They dry out quickly and they like to be nice and damp. There we go, I think that looks nice. So another way that we can use this moss is with no ornamental container at all. So I'm going to make a very special centerpiece for a dining table. So let's go and do that. So to make this centerpiece, just set out the plants down the middle of the table. You don't want anything so high you can't see over it, and you do want some breaks in it so you can see through it. Stagger them maybe, and always put them on saucers or small plates, of course, so they don't mar your tabletop. And then, when you have the arrangement the way you like it, just start applying the moss. I start at the top of the containers, and then just sort of pile it around the bottom. Probably won't cover every inch of the container, but you can cover most of it. And it looks really nice when you get it done. So just compress it, play with a little, pile it on. It's really pretty. It sort of looks like the plants are just growing up out of the table.